Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters with ideas to help you acquire Spanish. Well, the verb ser and the verb estar, they both mean to be. That means in the present tense, they both mean I am, you are, he is, we are, they are. And anytime we've got two words that are translated by only one word in English, we've got problems because we've got to learn when to use one and when to use the other, and it's not going to come automatically at first. But once we really break it down and try to understand what we're doing with those words, it's really not too bad. The first thing you have to understand is the verb ser. The verb ser talks about the essence of something. As a matter of fact, the verb ser comes from the Latin verb esse, which is something that shows up in a lot of English words. Essential, essence, entity. And so that's the way it is. The verb ser is going to talk about the person or the thing being described itself. The verb estar, on the other hand, comes from the Latin verb stare. Now, we've got a lot of STA words in English that are based on that Latin root. State, status, stance. And as a matter of fact, that's what estar does. It talks about the state, the status, or where something stands. How about that? Stance, where something stands. Yeah. We're going to use estar to talk about where people are, or where things are, and how things are. We're never going to use the verb estar to talk about the thing itself or the person itself, but always the situation, the circumstances, the state that something is in. So once we get that straight, it makes it a whole lot easier. I'm going to use ser to talk about somebody's identifying information, or some things identifying information. Where it's from, what it's made of, what someone or something is really like. I'm going to use estar to talk about how people feel. I'm going to use it to talk about things that involve states of health, surrounding circumstances. Once again, feelings. Let me give you a little poetic moment. How you are and where you are, this is when you use estar. What you're like and where you're from, then you use the other one.